thank you. So there were several parents on hand to watch the president take action on immigration today, all of whom had children whose lives were taken by criminals who were here in the country illegally at the time. Among those parents is Laura Wilkerson. In 2010, her teenage son, Joshua, on the left, was brutally murdered at the hands of his classmate on the right, who was brought here as a child illegally from Belize. Laura is now chairwoman of EnforceTheLaw.org. She has since provided Congress with emotional testimony about the loss of her son, Josh.
My youngest son, Joshua, was a senior in high school and had his whole life ahead of him. He went to school and never returned. As Josh walked up to the doors of the school that morning, Hermilo Morales walked up as well. There's a video that I saw in trial. This is the last picture of Josh alive. Last time I'll ever see my son walk, talk, anything about him.
So she relives this every day, and she joins us now along with Jose Antonio Vargas, who is a self-proclaimed undocumented immigrant. He's an activist and the founder of #EmergingUS. I know this has been an emotional day for both of you, and I really want to thank you both for being here today. Laura, first of all, let me start with you. When you were standing there and you watched these documents get signed, what went through your mind?
Relief. We're finally going to have someone in there that wants to follow current law and uphold the law. And so it was absolutely a relief today and a start.
Jose, I know that you said today was very tough for you. Tell me why. And when you look at the fact that what he's talking about doing is enforcing laws that are already part of the federal legal canon of the country.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I actually met Ms. Wilkerson at the Republican National Convention in Cleveland, and I met her and apologized to her about this whole horrific ordeal that no mother should ever go through. I have to say, however, the facts tell us that the vast majority of undocumented people in this country are not criminals. To be in this country illegally is a civil offense, not a criminal one. The vast majority of us are not murderers and rapists and killers. That man that ended up, that horrible tragedy was committed by an outlier, not as somebody who is part of the norm.
Anyone is suggesting, Jose, that everybody who is here who's undocumented is a murderer. That's not what it's about. What it's about is enforcing the laws that are on the books, and what we've heard tonight from Paul Ryan, and we're going to hear more about, returning people, because I think I would assume that's your biggest concern, right? Is the children like yourself who are brought here with their families.
But the thing though is the implication of the language that we've been using and how we talk about people, right? I have to say, by the way, let's talk about enforcing the laws. When are we going to talk about the American employers who actually benefit and exploit undocumented workers in this country? I'm in California, right, home to 2 million undocumented people. Are we going to talk about the U.S. employers, the American employers, and how they benefit from us? How about Texas? 1.8 million undocumented people in the state of Texas. The construction industry would not survive in Texas without undocumented workers.
I think there are two sides to the story. But let me ask you, and Laura, let me ask you to weigh in on this, because you hear what Jose is saying in terms of the people who are here. I assume that you want simply the laws to be followed, and that might lead to fewer workers being here, correct? And then everyone has to deal with that.
That's exactly right. And you say you've had a tough day. I don't know if you understand what a tough day is in the life of a parent who's lost a child at the hands of an illegal in this country. No one's here to say the vast majority, but you're legal or illegal. It's one way or the other. There's no gray area on that. You've had plenty of time in this country to get in line, come in the front door. Your parents brought you here undocumented, and that's something that's a question you'll have to have for your parents, but you have had plenty of time to get in line, and we don't have to make any excuses for that. We have to do nothing for the illegal here. They need to come in and come through the front door. There's a process. It needs to be ongoing and enforced.
It's well put. These are laws that are on the books. I'll say it again. What's wrong with a country having a border, with controlling who comes in and who goes out? Why is that a radical idea?
It's not a radical idea. Of course a country has a right to define and defend its border. I totally get that. But why are people here? Are we here so people can enjoy calling us criminals and being dehumanized and being taught that all we're doing is actually be a burden in this country, when the reality is we contribute billions of dollars to the economy of this country? But let me address, what Laura just said. Oh, you actually should talk to the IRS and the Social Security Administration. We have paid billions of dollars into Social Security and to the federal government.
How do you have a Social Security card to be in this country? How do you have a Social Security number?
Social Security Administration. So, but this is,
I'm asking you, how do you get that as an undocumented
I believe your grandfather bought it. Is that right?
My grandfather bought it. But let me just say this about the comment that you made. I live in the gray area. This is not black and white.
There is no
This
gray
is
area.
not about just illegal. Millions of people live the gray area every day. Ma'am.
You are in this
Millions
country
of people.
illegally, and that's it.
We've got to leave it
There's
there.
no gray
And I
area.
thank both of you for being here. The details of all of this will come out in the days and weeks to come. It's clear from what we've heard so far that it is criminal, people who have committed crimes, who are here illegally, who would be first on the list for this kind of pushback. So Laura Wilkerson, thank you very much. Jose Vargas, thank you very much, both of you. Obviously, a continuation of that conversation is to come. And coming up here tonight,